And hello and welcome again to another iRacing replay video with myself, Babylon Come. And this week we're at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, the Circuit of Champions. Let's get this thing under go. Or even underway. Sorry.
Stay behind the safety car in the left lane.
So yeah, it's the SimLabs production car challenge as I've been doing for the last 8 weeks. This is week 8. That's me, blue and white car number 21 this week. Qualifying P16, as you can see by the new RaceLab overlay I've decided to eventually get going. As I said, we're at Circuit de Spa. One of my favourite, probably my second favourite track next to Silverstone. However, I was a good 3.5 seconds off pole. Can't remember my qualifying time. It was something like 2:52, I think. It's a very long lap here. 25-minute race. We've on the old pit circuit, which is the same circuit as the normal GP, just the pit start finish is around the next corner, not where the Formula 1 cars start, which is just where we passed. So we're just going to come around the last corner then, and that's it now, coming up to the line. I think we're go, go, go. I'm going to apologise in advance. I'm sorry guys, this is not a very good video this week. There's a full-length race, but you'll see what happens soon. So as I said, it's week 8, so we're 2/3 of the way through the season. Once again, it's all Mazda MX5s. 27 of us, I think, or 28 of us started. I'll let it happen, then I'll explain. Yeah. It was quite a strange first lap. I kept out of the first bit of trouble. Trying to keep my nose clean and keep out the rest of the trouble, but it all went pear-shaped very soon. So I wasn't gonna, get too sort of forceful. I was, just trying to keep myself clean, So we're coming around to the back of the circuit. As I mentioned, this is one of my favourite circuits. I really do like this circuit. Although, my times weren't brilliant, but that'll come. I'm now down, it says P16, but I think I'm further back than that. Probably about 20th. Into the fast back rear part of the circuit. Sorry about the volume. Coming back up to what used to be the bus stop, which is now the chicane before the Formula 1 start-finish. Trying to keep myself clean. And I get sideswiped just there by the blue and red car. It wasn't a massive tap, but it did bugger up my front left wheel, which was now slightly steering to the right. But I didn't want to risk the pits. It was only a tap, so I thought it can't be that bad. So the pit entrance is just to the right here, on the left as you look at it now. So now I went for it. P19 as it's just updated. Going through Eau Rouge up to Radion and suddenly realised I had very little grip. Into the Wall of Champions. Now, I will admit I come very close to just hitting quit and leaving. But what happens in a case like that, you request a tow, and I now have to sit there for the time it would take a tow truck to come and get me and bring me back, which is about 3.5 minutes. It's just under 3 minutes a lap, so I sort of thought, well, okay, it's going to put me a lap down, but, a lot can happen still. So anyway, I'll carry on. What I'll do, because you don't want to sit there looking at me in the pits now for 3 minutes, I'll change the camera to something so you can see some action going on at least. Of course, the cameras have all changed, and the one I was looking for was up, and I went down. Right, so I'll let it just cycle through these cameras for a moment. Yeah, as I said, it's guys, girls, it's not going to be a brilliant race this week, because when I come out, I was like right at the back, half a lap behind the rest of them, if not more. However, though, towards the end of it, there was a little bit of action. But, yeah, I'm saying this now, I fully understand if you switch off, because there's not a lot happened. I'll take this time to explain, right, so I've got the new overlay up, which shows me my position, times to cars in front and behind, and it also shows licenses and iRating points. Because I thought last week, it's really difficult for you guys to know what position I'm in. It's difficult for me to know what position I'm in half the time. So anyway, this is the leaders now coming back round to finish the second lap. I'm still getting repaired. I've got about 30 seconds left, I think. Yes. I did warn you at the beginning of this season that there's going to be ones that not a lot happen. And unlike some content creators who do content creation for a living, they can probably do 3 or 4 races in a day. I, like most of you, work for a living, and I haven't got time to be racing multiple times a week just because I literally just do 1 race a week in this championship, and that's me done. So if it goes pear-shaped, it goes pear-shaped. Anyway, I'll switch back to me. I think I'm about to start pulling off. So any moment now, the car should repair and I'll start moving. I seem to remember the guys being exactly a minute ahead of me, behind me, whichever way you want to look at it. So it's over half a lap. So they've just about getting to the halfway point. Here we go, and yeah, so I'm off. And I will say now, for the next 2 laps, this is pretty much going to be it. Just you looking at me on my own.
All clear. Push now.
But, yeah, as I mentioned, there is a bit of action towards the end of the race. I did not finish last. However, I'm now currently very last. You can't get much more last than what I am. But it gives you a chance to have a look around the circuit, and I can waffle on if you're still watching this. As I said, Spa is a circuit I do love. I've done hundreds of laps here, probably not as many as Silverstone. And I'm probably not as good as this track as Silverstone, which is pretty obvious by the fact I was 3.5 seconds behind pole. But bearing in mind, it's nearly a 3-minute lap, so that's not too bad. The guys at the back of the starting grid were about 6 seconds behind pole. So, Mr. Average again. Now, you can see the split times there. The next guy ahead of me, Tim Daly, he's over a minute ahead. But the leader is over a minute behind me. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, nice drive. Hi, everyone. At least the sun's out. But as with all races I've experienced, there's never an uneventful race. So my philosophy is someone's going to crash at some point, and I'm going to pick up some spaces. That's exactly what happens. So I'm coming around onto the back part of the circuit, which from about 100 meters ago, it's full throttle right up to the bus, well, what was the bus stop. So this is completely full throttle all the way around here. Even though these cars have got no aero, it's still doing, you're not really doing enough speed. I think we get up to about 110, something like that, miles an hour. I don't know what that is in euro kilometers. So braking hard, what used to be the bus stop, just down the cul de chicanes, around to the Formula 1 start-finish. You can see now Ricky Garcia is in the pits, and I've raced Ricky before, I recognise that name. So you see the time just above my name, it's 13 seconds. So he's definitely in the pits. I think he might actually be pulling out of the pits now, I can't remember. Nope, I just go past him there, so that's me up into 16th position. So, see, I've already gained 2 places in 1 lap, and I didn't do anything. Onto the back straight. You're just about getting to 5th gear at the end of this, because it is uphill. And at the end of the day, these cars they're not a massive horsepower, you know, they do actually struggle on hills. So that elusive 6th gear is still not obtainable. So Ricky's underway, he's about 44, 45, so no, he's still in the pits, he's not moving. Tim is still a minute ahead of me. But the good news is that the guy in first place is still over a minute behind me, so no change. I'll take this moment, if you are still watching, please click the like button and click the subscribe button. I could really do with getting those figures up. Gets the old YouTube algorithm going and gets me more views and more search results. So it's much appreciated. Just click them away, smash them away. Thank you very much. So as I said, it's race 8 out of 12, so there's 4 more races left before the end of the season, which is around New Year's Eve-ish. Well, it can't be, it must be December-ish. If it's a weekly event and there's 4 left. So, yeah, next week, and then 3 more. League table, I had a look during the week. I was 9th last week, or the week before last. I've dropped back down to 12th, and this will probably drop me back down a little bit further as well. So, back straight coming up towards the chicane. I've noticed there's at least 3 cars in the pits now, so again, as I said, action will happen. It's not just going to be me for the rest of the race. Across the Formula 1 finish line, up to the hairpin, first gear rather, round the corner. Start accelerating mad down to Eau Rouge. Even in this car, by the way, Eau Rouge and Radion is full throttle. So, boom, 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 3 places just taken up there. as I said, you're guaranteed to see action in these races. I sort of had a bad feeling about tonight, thinking it wasn't going to go brilliantly, and yeah. But as they say, shit happens. Usually to me, but shit happens. Right, Garcia's now about 17 seconds ahead of me. It's a 25-minute race. We're on 17 minutes, as you can see down in the bottom left corner. You now have a clock as well. We're on lap 5. Probably about 3, maybe 4 laps left, I say, because they're quite long laps. So we don't do that many. I think it's 9 in total. I can't remember. The guy in first, Nick, he's still about 65 seconds ahead, so I'm actually keeping good pace. Which would have meant if I was up with the top guys, I would have been staying with the top guys, but there you go. I'll get that podium one day. I'm sure I will. I have had podiums in other races, but not the production car challenge. It still eludes me. The Garcia is still about 17, 18 seconds ahead of me. He's pretty much staying roughly the same distance. I do remember racing him probably week 1 or week 2. Oh, I've just remembered. Last week, if you saw last week's video towards the end of it, the guy I was having a race with pretty much most of the race, 80% of the race, I have to seriously apologize to you, dude, because it looked like, and I accused you of doing a dive at me on the hairpin, because you came flying past me at the rear at some serious speed and straight into a wall. But having now watched the replay a couple of times, I did notice you had at least 2 wheels, probably more, on the grass, which means you wouldn't have been able to brake, which explains why you go flying past me at a seriously high speed. So sorry, dude, I take it all back. You didn't deliberately go for me. As I said, that's very rare in iRacing. You don't often see that happening. So, past a few more people. It's telling me I'm in 19th. Don't know why, but I was convinced I got better than that. Anyway, there's a guy literally just ahead of me now, so Gianluca. He's just come out of the pits, so I'm going to have a lot more momentum coming down this first straight. Then keep an eye on Anthony Dafloro. I do apologize on his names. The 3 of us now, there's about 3 laps left. Maybe 4. So me and Gianluca now, I'm pretty sure he was a faster driver than me. Which become, I won't say nothing. But we do, we have a good little battle now for a couple of laps. I'm watching my mirrors. This is weird, I'm not used to commentating on other cars around me today. So I'm keeping the driving line, but at the same time being aware he's there. As you see, I can keep wide there. I sort of let him go past because I know I was going to undercut him again, which is exactly what I did. Coming down towards the back part of the circuit, there's medium left-hander, then brake for this right-hander, down a gear. And from this point on, it's full throttle now to the end of the lap. I was aware he was on the inside of me, so as you can see, I'm giving him a bit of space. I possibly got a better run out of that last corner because I've definitely seemed to be pulling a little bit away, but he's tucked in behind me. So that'll give him a draft, give him a bit of a tow, which will get him an extra 1 or 2 miles an hour as we're coming up towards the bus stop. And the chicane, he's on the inside, so I'm being very aware of that. Give him a bit of space. Tuck in. The trick is to get good acceleration out of that last left-hander, so then you get nicely down to the hairpin at the end of the straight. Tuck in behind him, see if I can get a bit of a draft off him. Important to get this last corner right, because then you're going down to... Because from here to the end of the straight now, it's full throttle. So you need to get the good acceleration coming out of that last thing. I didn't. You can see he's pulled away from me, nearly a second away from me. Through a Rouge up to Radion. Having the balls of a steel man, because you need to go through it at full throttle. It actually wasn't too difficult in this car. So tucking in behind him as best as I can, trying to get a draft off him. I do, so I pull out. Don't think I've quite got enough acceleration, but I do have the inside line. Which gets me into the right-left. But he's right on my tail again. This next right-hander, it's a bit like Cops at Silverstone. You've got to have a lot of patience with it. It's a long, long corner. So you're just touching the accelerator, just feathering it a little bit, and then full throttle. Just a little dab of the brakes to make the car turn left sharply. Up into fourth. And then again, just a dab of the brakes, maybe change down. He goes to the inside line, so I've got to give him space. But he pulls back, so I then cut into the apex. Down 2 gears to the next right-hander. Full throttle then for the left-hander, coming as far right as you can afford to go. Up into third. Harden the brakes, down to the second, into the hard right-hander. And now full throttle right back round to the end again. Now he's definitely going to have the draft on me now because he's right up my arse. In a nice way. But I'm just going to stick to the driving line, a little bit defensive towards the end. Now my plan in my mind is to keep to the right-hand side coming around to the chicane. So that way I've got the right-hand side as I come into the chicane. Unfortunately, I left my braking way too late. And yeah, that was totally my bad. So what I did, I slowed down deliberately, let him pass. Because he would have had that on me. It's not a rule you have to do, but I think if I make the mistake, then I should give him the position. I did apologize to him, Gianluca, if you ever see this. Yeah, sorry, dude, that was my bad. I left my braking way too late. So, time is up. This is the last lap. So, down through a Rouge up to Radion for the last time. I'm keeping an eye on the guy behind me, Anthony, because he could still cause some trouble. He's 5.5 seconds behind me, which should be fine. Still, he's in my mirrors. I'm aware of him. He's bright yellow. I can't miss him. But I think my chances now of getting Gianluca are slim. As I said, I made the mistake and I gentlemanly give him the position. It's not as if either of us are going to get any points anyway. So the guys now leading the race are about to finish. But I'm just keeping an eye on De Florio. Anthony. He's still 5 seconds behind me. But he is catching slowly. So yeah, Gianluca's now pulled about a second and a half away from me. I just know I'm not going to catch him. I know he was slightly faster than me anyway, because he caught me quite quickly. And I was sort of aware I did qualify P16, which is quite low even for me. I forgot to mention as well, in qualifying, I did actually have a spin on the outlap, which I did have a bit of a shunt. Now, my steering was fine, but I noticed on the big straights, I wasn't getting top speed. So I think I definitely caused a little bit of damage to my engine. Excuses, I know, but I got to say, a 253, and in practice, my best was 251, so... Right, pretty sure we're coming round now to the last corner, because 25 minutes is up. Round the hairpin then for the last time. I think it's the last time. And down towards the start-finish. P19. So, not the best race. Oh, that's a white flag. We've got another lap to go. Woo-hoo. So DeFlorio now is 3.6 seconds behind me. He's knocked 2 seconds off me on that last lap. Gianluca's pulled another half a second on me. But I'm not worried about him. He's gone. Unless he makes a mistake, yeah, that's not going to happen. So now all I need to do is make sure I don't make too much of a mistake. Keep DeFlorio the same distance behind me. Again, 3.5 seconds. It's down to 3 seconds, so he's pushing. I've just got to not make a mistake. It's quite a long lap, but it's also... There's not many places that... Yeah, it's difficult to say, yeah. Unless you really get things wrong, it's not that difficult to make mistakes on this track. But he's down to 2.5 seconds behind me, so he is catching me another half a second off me. If I'm not careful, he could have me at the end. Well, we're just about to come round now to the back end of the circuit where, as I said, from this point onwards, it's pretty much full throttle. He's 2.5 seconds behind me. Gianluca's now 3.5 seconds, so he's pulled away from me. I'm fairly confident, unless I completely fluff the chicane up, I've got this. Oh, I've not got it, but I'm not going to lose any more positions. So as we come up to the chicane, just making sure I get my braking point right, down into first gear. Clip the apex, again in the other apex, full throttle. He's down to 2 seconds. I've actually pulled about half a second back on Gianluca. Or he's dropped half a second, one of the two. So coming around to the last hairpin. Get my braking point right, down into first gear, get as close to the wall as I dare. And yeah, there's no way he's going to get me now. So coming down to the finish, just as well, because he's 1.8 seconds. He has caught me up again. And across the finish. There we go, P19. Well, if you're still watching, cheers, thanks. I did warn you it wasn't the most exciting race. But yeah, I recovered a little bit from what was a disastrous first part of the race. Anyway, people, thank you very much for watching. Give that like and subscribe and mash. Go on, you know you want to. And, yeah, I'll see you next week for the 9th round of the SimLabs Production Car Challenge. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.